Just get the live stream up and running. Okay.
Just flying down from Martinique to make an extra island of it.
And why not?
Shame to come all this way and not visit them, isn't it?
It's just a low approach, but if you cut your engines before you get there, you'll actually hear the sound of the water lapping.
Turning in for long finals.
Yeah, that's odd, I can't see anybody at the airport.
Good, a tree on the approach.
Morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. Com check, please.
Morning. We can hear you.
So I've turned the two multiplayer traffic things on, and I still can't see anybody at all.
Are you on the Southeast Asia?
I'll check. I haven't changed that. I haven't used any others, so I'll go and check.
And the flight conditions on the way in, did you set it to all
Really
players?
sweet fast, so maybe it's just taking time to load.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Check again, it's just no traffic on the ground. There should be lots.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing traffics.
Yeah, it's a bit drafty.
Evening everyone, radio check please.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello there, thanks.
Evening, Peter.
Good evening, Joe.
I didn't see a thing. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, Jojo.
Peter, I broke down and bought the 182 RG.
You broke it?
Oh, that's going to be today when I break it.
I don't know, we can't trust you Americans with anything.
Ditto. And Peter, I'm interested to see how different it is from the Coronado 180 that I have, the 180T.
Alright, going from one to the other.
I suspect the main difference is going to be the avionics.
Yes, a lot better done. I would like to remind everyone, no speeding on the airfield.
Mic check.
You're coming through 5-5.
Oh, you're totally unreadable, Peter.
Now, it may be my voice rather than the radio. How was that?
Was it the material rather than the audio?
Good evening, Joe.
Evening.
Good evening.
There goes the obligatory hawk.
I'm going to have to get a hawk eventually sometime, just so I don't see Airbuses in the air.
It is definitely a wonderful bit of kit. I can recommend it. On a weekend I bought the Phantom this week. That's quite a good bit of fun.
Oh, it'd be interesting to find out how you get on with it.
Bit of old school.
Yeah, it's not too bad actually. It's not as much of a handful as I thought it was going to be, but a lot of nuances to learn, I think.
Like 20-mile turning circles.
Yeah.
That's a great trawler, nice scenery.
As long as it's in the water, not the land.
I see that we've finally got the SF260, but I saw the maker's video online, and it didn't sound too good to me.
Yeah, I've got that as well. The sound is what lets it down. It's very loopy on the sound.
Yes, that's the only thing that puts me off of it, because I love that aircraft otherwise.
Yeah, it's a nice model to fly. I don't find too much wrong with the fly, but the sound is a bit repetitive.
You got it, did you?
Yeah, I love it as well. I saw the review and thought I'm going to try it. It is very good.
Oh, I might get it then. Excuse my poor English just then.
I'm hoping they'll fix the sound. Quite a few people are grumbling about it, so hopefully it'll be in an update somewhere.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Certainly can.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good morning, good evening.
Good evening, Alice. Good morning.
Good morning, Ellis.
How are you, Joe? I got my Xbox controller, Peter.
It's working fine, is it?
Found a very good little video, YouTube video, and good idea to clear out everything if you're only going to use it to control your drone.
That's it. I mean, I don't have an Xbox. I just went on hearing how Jonathan was using his, and so I got one.
Yeah, it's quite good for using the drone camera.
But yeah, one of your fellow countrymen has done a very good little YouTube video on reconfiguring the button bindings to make it even better to use. I don't know what the original function of it, but one of the buttons you use it to toggle the drone camera on and off. So you know, so you don't have to. Excuse me. So you don't have to actually go up to the top menu bar and select the drone camera. You just hit the button on the controller. Yeah. No, it's very good. I'll find out where it is and put a link to it in the where would I put that, in the general channel, or yeah, but so
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, awesome, please.
Yes, that'd be rather good, that.
Evening, everybody. It's Derek from London area.
Good evening, Derek
Yeah.
from London.
Evening.
Looks like a good turnout again.
How are we doing for time? It's got about 10 minutes to go until we set off.
Well, I know it's a little bit early, but here's the talky bit. Welcome to the virtual flight Sunday night flight, if this is your first time with us. If you're on Discord, please note that no bad language will be accepted and you'll get yourself banned. Also that Jonathan's live streaming it, so it's going out on YouTube at the moment, so especially remember your language. This is sort of part 2 of our Caribbean Sunday night flight. Earlier in the year we went north, and now we're going in the opposite direction from St Lucia down to Grenada. We'll be stopping at Mustique for a break, so just remember to weigh your wallets, because that's how they weigh them when you want to buy a cup of coffee. Hope you're taking note of this. And that's just about it. I don't know if you want to add anything else, Jonathan.
No, that was really great. Thank you, Peter.
I can see all the planes now. I was at the wrong end of the runway.
Okay, we've still got 7 minutes to go, but if you're down at the general parking area, if you want to start making your way down to 09, we can have a nice orderly takeoff and be all up in the air in time for 8 o'clock.
Good evening, all. Peyton here. Is sound working?
It is.
Thank goodness, I thought I'd gone deep.
Evening, all.
Evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please be gentle. I don't even have the flight plan downloaded, so I'll just follow everybody else.
That's the easiest way usually.
Spawned on the parking ramp forward and couldn't see out. Somebody was sitting on my lap.
I'm sorry, but these small airfields, or even the bigger ones, haven't got enough to accommodate us, enough room to accommodate us all these days.
Yeah, I've just tried to brake and my chair slid back and I didn't brake and ran straight through somebody, but never mind.
Oh, last week I spawned into the middle of the back of an aircraft. In the hold, that is.
Yeah, this, all we'll have to do is just take off from Charles de Gaulle for everything, really. Got plenty of spaces there.
So we can just block Heathrow for an hour.
Maybe.
Are we all waiting or shall I just go?
I would just go. Get in the air.
I'll get a slipstream behind this 320.
I was going to say we should leave 3 minutes, really.
That's Caribou, really, so you're okay.
It's a very nice, orderly queue down here. Be nice if we all started to move, fellas.
It's very impressive from the other side of the runway, looking at you all.
With labels on, I can't even see the runway.
That's good, boy. No queue jumping, fellas.
Yeah, I think we've actually got more people than multiplayer can handle because people are appearing and disappearing on the labels.
I'm getting very laggy too, a lot of low frame rate.
Maybe chop the labels off, might help.
Yes, I'm seeing a lot of labels I don't recognise.
Maybe all the just the new people. Well, of course, it works the other way around. Start again.
It's Jonathan broadcasting our existence on YouTube all the time.
Yep. We will bring the servers to their knees.
You're doing a wonderful job, Jonathan.
It's making you famous, Alice.
It is. The number of people that ask after the guy from New Zealand on the flights.
Is that right?
It's true. It's true.
They want to know if you've got a job with Kenko.
Gee, I better be careful what I say then, didn't I?
I don't know, you might have some free tints coming your way.
Well, I have to make a public note of appreciation to Peter for accompanying me on that my trip halfway around the world, which is now complete. And I'm sitting at 999 hours in the sim, Peter, so I'm going to break the 1,000 today.
Fantastic.
It was a great pleasure, Ellis. I enjoyed myself immensely with you, and it's going to be great when you hit the 1,000.
It's going to happen on this leg, I'd say.
Brilliant.
Did you have to bring your own coffee, Peter?
No, we're going to stop at Mustique. It's just a matter of, can you afford a cup of coffee?
Is it that bad?
Yes, it's the land of the rich and famous, Mustique.
$100 a cup.
So everybody waiting on the apron, just take off, get in the air.
Yeah, well, it's 8 o'clock. It's time to go. So if you're not in the air, powerful one.
I think the word you're looking for is scramble.
Yeah.
Ah, sorry, I got that right. Yes, scramble, scramble, scramble.
We need an air raid siren, don't we, to signal the start of the flight?
Yes,
Hey, mate.
So I didn't have a bell to ring as well.
I was going to say, Discord does sound effects, doesn't it? I think we switched them off, though, because people were swamping the flights with idiocy. But that might be a good use for them.
Actually, I know we're joking, but that actually is a good idea.
Well, I can fire a few warning shots if you like.
What is that roar that I hear? It sounds like a jet engine or something constantly.
It probably is a jet engine.
Yeah, probably coming towards you at a high rate of knots.
It's a Hawk pretending to be an Airbus, or is it an Airbus in the sim pretending to be a Hawk? I'm not sure which.
So first leg this evening is 188 degrees, 17 miles down to Hevanorra, is it?
It's just the other end of St Lucia as far as I'm concerned.
Yep, the far end of the island, 190 degrees-ish.
I had a sneaky practice this morning, and then the wind was 26 knots and it was quite misty. Looks better now.
Yeah, showing 109 degrees at 22 knots. At the 8,000 feet.
What's everybody flying tonight?
See, it depends.
I'm in a 172 Cessna.
I'm in the 182 RG.
125.
I love this plane.
I'm
Easy.
I'm doing the V-tail tonight.
I broke down and bought it today, Ellis. I'm giving it a shakedown run.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it, Joe. It's great. I got it on Jonathan's recommendation. I've loved it ever since. But for these, you know, these group flights, and that's just ideal.
We still have 3 aircraft on the ground. If you can hear us, fellas, it's time to leave.
There's still quite a bit of wind.
Yeah, I'm showing a 26 knot crosswind. Make that 30 knots.
Maybe there's a good reason to turn the weather off today then.
Yeah, mine's gone up to 28.
I guess having the wind will make it more adventurous for landings. Comical, maybe.
I call it challenging.
Well, that sounds like a good call sign.
It'll give the Transportation Safety Board something to do.
Actually, I'm just watching the... I normally fly outside view, so I'm watching my hawk go sideways down the valley.
So has anybody got any new aeroplanes or scenery in the simulator that they'd like to tell everybody about?
Just modded me X56 joystick.
I bought Stansted this morning after watching your...
Oh, the Unibuilds one.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good, but I don't think it's as good as Heathrow. You know, for any builds.
Yeah. It is weird though, having been to some of the airports that I've gone and bought now, it's spooky walking around them in the sim. It really is.
Are you feeling a bit like a ghost with nobody present?
That's the thing, when you're walking around the shopping area, usually it's absolutely jam-packed with people. And being the only person in there is just odd.
That, I've forgotten where it is now. There's an Aerosoft one and the people are actually moving. And where they're sitting having a meal, they're sat using a knife and fork.
Maybe that's what we should use the money for in the virtual airline, so when you go to the big airports you can pay £20 for a cup of coffee.
And make that your patron.
Yeah. And then pay to go to the toilet and pay for breathing.
Can I ask a question? Everybody's turned right to southwest to Tango Lima Papa Lima instead of going straight on. Are you all cutting the corner, or have you got a different flight plan to me?
They're all approaching the runway.
They're doing a touch and go.
Okay, yeah, sorry, thanks.
I've gone left, so I'm into wind, but everybody else has gone right.
Perhaps you've got different wind to them.
Yeah, some people's touch and goes will be faster than others.
I've got live weather on and I'm coming into the wind, heading with the pack.
I've just had a look at the airport details, and that's saying runway 10.
Yes, I remembered it the other way around.
Must remember this evening I've got an airplane with retractable gear. I've done that before.
Yeah, you got to remember to put one thing with the RG. If you drop your power off and you haven't got your cart down, well, it lets you know, doesn't it?
It makes a good scraping noise, doesn't it?
Oh, there's a klaxon goes off. Same if you've got your flaps down and forget to take them up.
Yeah. The Comanche has a good scraping noise as well if you forget to put the gear down. You can get away with it though. It's quite amusing.
It's always the Y key. Turns to custard.
I thought we'd flown to there.
I don't think there is a white key anymore, is there?
That's Maui, isn't it?
Oh,
Awful, isn't it?
I've got the sun in my eyes. Trouble with 2 mirrors in the Hawk.
Looks good. There's all these labels, and then underneath them there's all these little flashing lights.
I'm on live weather, but mid-afternoon, so I can't see the lights, but I'll play around with that as the flight goes by.
So after departing here, after doing your touch and go, it's 220 degrees for the next leg. Head for the volcano.
Have we got to drop a ring in there?
That big bump over there, yeah?
Yep, but the left side of the shores of the volcano. Oh, this will make everybody smile. I had a real kind of deja vu moment this morning. I know somebody that lives on Vancouver Island in Canada, and they sent a picture of themselves out paddleboarding with some friends, and in the background I could see Orcas Island and Friday Harbour, or the island that Friday Harbour's on. It's the San Juan Islands, isn't it? Something like that. But you could see all of the islands in the distance that we have flown around so many times in the simulator.
Do they look similar to what's in the simulator?
Well, they were in the distance, so I couldn't really tell, but it was just an uncanny moment because I realised where they said they were, and then I looked behind them and I thought, hang on a second, that's all of the islands where all those airstrips are.
I see Hawk is in a hurry.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Cracking on a bit.
Well, one of the things that I'm enjoying about this 182 RG so far is the analog gauges. They're a pleasant change.
And Joe, I swapped the avionics over to the 750. A good combination.
Yeah, I didn't have time really to dig around into the tablet and change much of the config. Although the obsessive compulsive part of me wants to take a scrub brush to the inside of the airplane with all the gunk and grime they put on it, but it really is very realistic looking.
Each of the different liveries has got a different interior, just to let you know that.
Is that right? Because I always go for the same one, Jonathan. I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you try the other ones.
That might throw me off then. got used to this one.
Yeah, they got different trim inside them.
Oh wow, maybe I can find one for a neat freak.
Yeah, we'll have to go through all the different...
You might find a clean one.
One of them has got like faded red leather inside. It's like very, very 1970s.
I don't think I'd like that.
Boom, chicka, wow, wow.
Bad jazz and a disco ball, right?
I don't know, man. This Comanche's growing on me.
The Comanche's brilliant, isn't it?
I wasn't too surprised that A2A took their time in getting here, but, it seems to have paid off.
Looks like we've all looted the Saint Vincent and the Grenadines airspace.
Yeah, they took their time, but it's nice.
I'm assuming it's Argyle we're going to?
E.T. Joshua?
Yeah. Tango Victor, Sierra Victor.
It's from the far end of the island. So I guess the question becomes, what's the best route to go around the island or over?
Left-hand approach.
Runway 07.
So around the right-hand side would be a good idea if you're going to keep down at sea level.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm going to go for that.
Are you using runway 07?
I failed kindergarten. It's a right-hand approach, isn't it? Sorry about that.
Your other right.
As we used to say, it's the military right, not your civilian right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Evening.
Hello. What was the URL for Little Nav Map to view your the group flight?
Oh, it's in the notes in the codex. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. It's quite a long URL, so it's easier to look it up. If you go to the codex and go to transmitter, it's in there.
Okay, I look for that. Thanks.
Off the top of my head, it's VirtualFlight.Online/WhatsApp_IVAO.
Something like that, yes. I thought so, but I can't remember as well.
Yes.
Trying to fly this Aero 145, but I'm only getting a frame rate of about 10.
I had a friend lived on St Vincent and one on St Kitts as well, going back in 1980s.
It's a bit bumpy, isn't it? If you fly low to the ground around here.
I'm getting lots of people around me disappearing on Little Nubna and coming back again.
We've got 38 on Discord.
Yeah, there's usually a third more than that in the sim, so.
Yes, I was just thinking, is this one of our big numbers tonight?
Possibly.
Songs of praise you and figures will be down.
You send it a Russian yacht.
For those of you who love the Trimotor, 2 updates. One, Microsoft did push an update out that fixed some of the graphical issues in the cockpit and a couple of other fixes. But hands off to Mr. O for the livery that he did from the Indiana Jones movie. That is the bomb.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to go and download that one.
That update, did it fix the front windows?
Yes, it did. No more dancing ants.
No more breeze coming in through the gap in the window.
I didn't even have to use any caulking, Jonathan.
Did you complete the UK tour?
I'm about 65%. I am currently in the upper part of Scotland, I think was my last stop.
Okay, no.
I think my next tour is going to be, I'm going to do the North Island in New Zealand, and I'm trying to pick a plane to do the whole thing again with it. I may use the Kodiak.
Ooh, what about the Trimotor?
What was that? I didn't hear you.
So how about the tri-motor?
No.
No, take your time, go low and slow.
Yeah,
You'll enjoy the scenery.
Have you gone off the tri-motor, Joe?
I'm still flying the whole UK tour with the tri-motor.
Well, at least it'll be warmer in New Zealand.
That is true.
Be warmer even in this winter.
Not by much though, gentlemen, I'm afraid. It's winter here.
Yeah, but,
But I bet you're getting better weather than we're getting.
if he uses the tri-motor, by the time he finishes, it'll be summer.
Actually, I really am enjoying just taking my time and being the tourist and looking at the geography as I fly over. It's probably a part of the world I never actually get to physically visit, so this is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a beautiful area to fly over in the sim, I must admit. I go there quite often.
You'll have to tell us if you see the Loch Ness Monster.
I might spot it from the lock.
It's probably add-on scenery.
Somebody, I'm sure, has added it.
But only if it's absolutely necessary.
Oh dear.
Dear me.
Didn't there used to be an add-on that put Godzilla in Tokyo Harbour?
Very early days, I think it did.
Yeah.
Pity it did Rampage, though.
I remember playing SimCity back in the day, and you could trigger Godzilla, couldn't you?
Yeah.
They'd like having Trump rampaging. Anyway, no politics. Oh, I'm flying over a lovely little sandy beach.
That'll be $400, please.
It's obviously a mountain river estuary.
This is a lovely little airport, isn't it?
It is lovely. I'm right behind you, Jonathan.
Just looking at all the houses on the hillside surrounding it.
They won't be very happy with us lot.
I have got a message saying one of the keys URL 0 and or URL 1 is missing. Ern's first lines in the file is general. You know what that is?
Have you got a space on the end of the URL that you've put in the box?
In front of it, a space at the front.
Or at the back?
An equal opportunity space.
I can't find a space. Not that I am aware of. But it said, but test something wrong.
So let me. Oh, did you check the format of the feed to IVAO?
Yeah, I copied VirtualFlight.Online in your the configuring little nav map. Fill the URL https dubbele punt, how do you say that? / VirtualFlight.Online / WhatsApp _ IVO into the URL, and that I did that, and I put it update every 5 seconds. The format is FATSIM, and the custom
The format should be IVAO.
Okay, IVO test. Still got the wrong message. One of the keys, URL 0 and/or URL 1 is missing. First line in the file. Not the question mark, but the other one. General. Version 1, reload 1. Connected client 75.
That's really strange.
Yeah. And I restarted little navmap and Discord and transmitter several times.
Because it's working for me, and I've got exactly the same settings.
Yeah. Well, then I follow you on the live stream and quit my flight as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you can see the live stream, I can show you the options now.
Okay, just a minute. Do you have that in?
It's live on the live stream now. I've got the dialogue up with the settings on it.
Yeah, but live. Oh, just a moment. Because I watched the live stream on Discord, and on YouTube it's a few seconds later.
I can do it on Discord as well.
Just a moment, please. Thanks.
Oh.
Yeah, probably showing him out on Discord would be best.
Hang on a second.
Just have to zoom in. Ooh, I can't read it. How do I do that? Custom, the other one. Apply. Okay. Yeah, that's better, thanks. Yes, yes. Tools.
So online service has to be custom. The URL has to have no spaces, no space on either end.
Yeah.
And
that's the one I copied.
So 2 //
online WhatsApp
VirtualFlight.Online.
5 seconds, and then I've got a message WhatsApp file URL beneath it. No web address for WhatsApp.txt entered.
There should be no TXT.
I've got another line below that. Yes, that's the status. Oh, I did it in the wrong one, I think.
Aha! I know what you mean. Yes, it's the WhatsApp file URL, not the status one.
Yeah, you want it in the WhatsApp file.
You have to change the online service to custom as well, yeah. Hopefully that fixes it. I've got to try and figure out how to stop this magnifying now. There we go. Now I'm completely lost over the ocean. Where's the airfield gone?
Thanks a lot. That's much better. Thanks.
Sorry, are we off to Mitchell now?
Yeah, we are.
I can see you. Thanks a lot.
Cool.
Runway 12.
Job done. That's £10, please.
I'll buy you a cup of coffee on the next stop. Thanks.
I'll give him £10.
I'll buy another checklist from him.
Is this the break already?
No, no, one more to go.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of aircraft not on transmitter.
So this might interest people that are real-world pilots that know of a piece of software called SkyDemon. I'm going to start looking at it to see if there's any way of making the transmitter data work in SkyDemon. Because there is somebody's made a mod for Flight Sim, so you can broadcast your own aircraft position inside SkyDemon. If you're not aware, SkyDemon is a professional, essentially a professional version of Little Navmap that makes Little Navmap look like a toy. Because obviously, you know, it's the proper deal for real aviation.
Yeah, nice radar would be good.
But I'm going to have a look at it and see if there's any way of either aping the data from something else, which is essentially what Transmitter does with Little Navmap. It copies the IVAO data format. So if I can do the same with SkyDemon, we can show the people on a group flight within SkyDemon.
You might get some complaints, Jonathan.
And when we're getting the radar, Jonathan?
Fouling their airspace.
And when we're getting the radar, Jonathan?
I don't know.
SkyDemon would be a good idea. I use it, but it's not much use when you're in a virtual cockpit. But it's good for planning. If you could export the flight plan from SkyDemon to the flight simulator, that would be really useful. And it's useful for watching yourself fly it and knowing where you are, but only if you're not flying in VR.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But VR's, it's the same problem with VR with all of them though, isn't it?
But isn't there a utility to use Little Navmap in VR?
There is. I've heard of it. I've not actually got a VR headset though, so I've not experimented with any of that.
I read about it on Flight Sim TO. Also, another utility that I saw at Flight Sim TO was they have a freeware app where you can eliminate that they replace aircraft that we don't have to the Airbuses and stuff like that.
I'm going to get in early, Dave, so I'm going to go to the coffee shop and see if I can negotiate a bulk deal, all right?
That'd be, what, 40 plus cups, please. I prefer a mug.
So is it Mustique next?
It is indeed, and that's our full stop. For a break, that is, halfway through the flight. And our runway tonight, gentlemen, is 0909.
Sure.
Just about long enough for a hawk.
Yeah, there's several people in the live stream chat saying they use Sky Demon. They're obviously real-world pilots because there's no way you would use it just for flight sim, I imagine, or not. A normal person wouldn't because it costs £100 a year. But it's like Navigraph on steroids. It's so much better than Navigraph.
So how much are people paying a year for Navigraph then?
Not far short of that. This is the funny thing.
Well, Sky Demon is a planning software, really. It doesn't have charts. So, you'd have to buy a separate subscription to Poolies or AFE to get the landing and takeoff charts if you wanted those.
But if you could get the aircraft into it as well, it would give you all the warnings and everything as well.
Navigraph subscription includes AirAx though, wouldn't it? Updates.
Yeah. Yeah, all I'm saying is though the actual planning part of it is blows Navigraph completely out of the water. So it's got three-dimensional views of all the sectors. So you can view your route from a cross section with all the hills and the sectors drawn into the sky.
Sky Demon is a VFR planning software, whereas Navigraph is IFR for plates and so on, of course.
Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that.
So basically, if you want to do instrument flying, you need Navigraph.
Sky Demon does have the VFR, the IFR airways and things like that on it, and it's not really technically 3D because you've just got a overhead and a lateral view, which is good for planning through airspace. But it's more of a planning tool, I would say, than something you might use in flight.
Wow, we use the Sky Demon in flight all the time. You fly your route along it. Yeah.
Right, they're going to give us a 15% discount, guys.
Is that all?
I'll have a small coffee then.
Just be grateful for small mercies, David.
To you, it's merely £100.
It'd be free.
A small mercy is £20.
Has anyone else tonight had trouble getting into VR? When you press Control and Tab, it just doesn't happen properly. Anyone else got that?
No, it works out for me. Works fine for me as well.
Well, it works about 25% of the time for me, which is good.
Yeah, I've got when I press just tonight. It's been fine previously, but tonight when I do Control and Tab, I just get a black screen and there's little whirly dots going round and round and round. It doesn't actually connect. I've no idea why.
That has happened to me once or twice. I don't know what the fix is. I restarted my PC.
I had everything set up, and when I clicked on the yellow fly button, it just wouldn't do anything. Click, but no, it didn't go anywhere.
it's still really flaky, isn't it? I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator has improved no end, but it's still really flaky.
Well, I've been flying since it was on the ZX81, and there are two things that are always true about Flight Simulator. One is it's always only going to work on the next computer you get, not the one you've got. And the other one is it is just so flaky. If you're lucky, if you can take off and land somewhere, you've had a really good result.
That's amazing, Jonathan. How did you turn your aircraft into a hovercraft?
I haven't got any custom scenery.
No, you've got no wheels.
Huh. I'm in a different area. Oh, probably showing up as a Mooney or something, aren't I?
No, we've both got the same aircraft.
Oh, I don't know why then. Right, I'm going to go and grab a coffee.
Just tipped my plane over.
I was just going to say, I've just seen somebody tip over.
I only turned in and it just tipped over. Was the wind was it windy?
You hit the brake.
Can you hear me?
I'm going to have to leave. Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Okay, see you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Coffee time.
Being this is the first time I've done a complete flight, do you really stop for coffee, or is it just a virtual coffee?
I'm going to go and actually put the kettle on and make a quick coffee. It's a 5-minute break, really.
Right, green tea it is.
Making coffee. Be back.
Or a beer. Ooh, the crocodiles.
Right, for those guys, everybody there, those people that might be interested in that, the Xbox controller key bindings for if you use the controller purely for controlling your drone camera. It's done by an Englishman by the name of Hedison. Yeah, I'll post the YouTube link into the general channel for anybody that would like to have a look at it.
Perfect. The only thing you have to be... Yeah, actually I suppose doing that will solve a problem that I've had with it in the past, Ellis. Because my Xbox controller's getting on a bit. The sticks drift sometimes and I have to wiggle them to get them to centre.
Are you?
And in some of the aeroplanes, the Phoenix, I had it happen yesterday while I was recording a video. Actually I stopped the video and restarted recording because it messed the whole flight up. The stick started drifting on the Xbox controller that was left plugged in, and it killed the autopilot. So, I could not engage the autopilot.
Yeah, well, the answer is you go through all the key bindings and delete anything or clear anything that is to do with any of the controls you don't want it to affect.
Exactly.
And then he allocates a couple of very convenient functions that are not actually bound to anything at the moment. One is the center view. So you push that and it takes you straight back to your center cockpit view. And another one toggles the actual drone camera on and off, which is very, very convenient. And the X, A and B keys or whatever it is, he reassigns those to one to speed the camera up or slow it down, and the other one, what's the other one do? It centers you external view right behind the aircraft. So if you lose track of where you are, you hit that button and it puts you right behind the aircraft in the external view. Very convenient.
So if you take off towards the hill from the intersection on the runway, just make sure you've got plenty of welly on your aeroplane. I'm just going to orbit the airfield, don't worry, I'm not flying off on the rest of the route yet.
Many people ask questions on the stream?
Hang on a second, I have to turn head tracking off to look at that, otherwise it looks like I'm looking into the back corner of the cockpit.
Anybody listen to me?
We can hear you.
On which server you are, Jonathan?
Southeast Asia.
Okay, thank you very much.
So, if my dog's just been out for a wee, does he have to have a rabies check before I leave?
Only if you bit him.
Oh, good.
No, there's lots of people talking about Sky Demon on the live stream that have actually got it and confirming that you can connect Flight Sim to it with a small add-on. I might actually go and look at how it gets the data for the real aircraft, because I know it can work with FlightAware and things like that in the real world.
Okay guys, that information's now in the general channel on that drone camera bindings.
Mine picks up the info from ADSB transmitter that's a separate box in the plane.
Yeah. Because if we could get that working with transmitter, That would be brilliant, because it gives you all sorts of warnings that aeroplanes are on collision courses and stuff like that.
It is Southeast Asia?
Sorry?
It is Southeast Asia?
Sorry, you're not coming through very clearly.
Yes, we are on the Southeast Asia.
Okay, okay.
Yes. At the moment, we are at Tango Victor Sierra Mike.
Everything's gone dead. I'll have to get out and come back in again, I suppose. That's a nuisance.
Are we heading due down again?
236 degrees, 15 miles.
Canouan?
Looks like it.
I've lost all power to my Cessna. Battery's gone flat.
Does Control E not work?
Thank you, Jonathan. No.
That was worth a try. What about if you go to slew and come back out of slew?
So is that alternator not on or something?
Yeah, usually.
Someone left their landing light on.
Yeah, me, and the battery's gone flat and the whole plane's gone dead. So maybe on the tablet I get an option to hook in external power might help.
Which plane are you in?
Cessna
182 RG, I think.
Yep. There we go.
So somebody on the live stream is asking what the Discord is. If you go to VirtualFlight.Online on the web, and there's a big link in there to get to Discord.
Because you do need an invite, and that link is an invite.
No, it's open. No, it's the Discord has changed. It's not invite only for. Once you get past a certain number of members, it becomes essentially an open server. Because we've got something like 2,000 members.
As if.
Please let me know the location at the moment.
Mustique. So Tango Victor Sierra
Mike. I guess that radio mast, you can fly through it.
Are you going to test that for us?
I just did.
Twang.
I was expecting that, but it didn't.
Just wondering if I can see nice Mr. Branston's villa here.
Princess Margaret's old place is all boarded up.
Is this where she used to live then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Branson has his own island now.
Has it got a volcano and everything like a proper villain?
No, he doesn't, unfortunately. He's a second-rate villain.
That's part of the kit, isn't it? You get a volcano, hollowed out volcano, and a monorail.
Well, he's got the spaceship, hasn't he?
Yeah, and then you can be on the next James Bond movie if you get all the bits.
And a shark tank.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And a pond full of crocodiles.
Piranhas.
Right, I'm putting in the route, going for it.
Piranhas and chips are nice, got a real bite to it.
No.
Yeah, having complained earlier that I couldn't get into VR and I was having to do the flat screen job, I tried it again for about the 6th time and it worked. I'm back in VR and oh boy, it's better. Oh,
Brilliant.
It's
just so real, you know.
This island is very good, isn't it? You can just see all the reefs and everything under the water as well.
Well, I haven't tried that.
I've got it as an upgrade in Flight Sim 2.
It's pretty good out of the box, to be honest. Obviously the airport is very basic, but
I've done all the Caribbean islands, including Cuba.
I finally went and bought Sandefjord in Norway the other day from Orbex. It's very, very good.
Talking of exotic airports, I bought Doncaster the other day.
Yeah, it's a shame it's shut, isn't it?
The Wild West.
Yeah.
I bought East Midlands a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I ought to get that. I used to live at Donington.
Okay, so next leg is 236 degrees, 15 miles down to Canouan, sorry.
And there you can stop for a coffee and have your kayak and eat it.
Should be a law about that.
Somebody mentioned the model matching software from Flight Sim TO earlier, and I'm just trying it out, and it seems to work well nicely.
Yeah, it looked like a really great utility.
So what does it do?
It's just a model matching utility. You can replace planes with ones you have. And yeah, you can. There's an advanced function in it, so you can really fiddle with it.
Very cool. I wonder if they'll ever do anything like was it Bluebird that had the pack of aeroplanes in X-Plane that you could use with VATSIM? So it made sure that it covered, about, I don't know, 150 different aeroplane shapes, but did all the substitutions for you.
Well, I haven't used X-Plane that much, so I couldn't tell.
Now this one had extensive models you could download, and also it will randomly give differences. So if you have, if let's say that you have a small Beechcraft, a G36 or something like that, then it will find similar types of aircraft. So you will see different types of the same size.
I'm going to have to try that out.
Yeah, it looks really good.
And you can also select if you prefer that it replaces some aircraft with something that you have that looks similar.
I don't have the Kodiak. Will that replace all the A320s in the sim? See, when you...
Yeah, I think it will.
Yeah, that was the reason why he built that app.
What was the name of the program again?
Multiplayer model matching, or M3.
Is it on .to, is it?
Yeah.
So multiplayer model matching, okay, we'll have a look for that. If someone could put a link for that in the software channel in the Discord server, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I can do that.
But will we suffer from Airbus withdrawal symptoms?
I won't miss it. They're a pain in these little airfields.
Have you got transmitter turned on, Jonathan?
Yep.
I'm not seeing you in little nav map.
Well, I see him fine.
I see you in the sim, obviously, but I'm just flying over the top of you, where you just zoomed past me.
Yeah, I can see you in a little left map, so definitely isn't it?
A lot of us on Thursday's My Air flight had the same problem.
You haven't put a group filter in, have you, on your URL or something silly like that?
No.
Have you got the tick box on for removing duplicates?
No, it's not ticked.
Well, I can't see you, David, at all.
I'm right up front, almost at the front. Somebody else. Well, in the sim, there's about 10 in front of me.
He's about to crash into a... There's a 737 coming through.
Yeah, rubber.
Excuse me, coming through.
We got virtual flight livery.
I do hope in the next version of the sim they do something with multi-threading with loading the assets in when you're on approach to an airport. Because it pauses the entire simulator, doesn't it, for that fraction of a second as it loads the airplane models in and stuff that are on the ground?
I had one approaching one of the islands. I froze for about 10 seconds.
It's not usually that, it's just when you're approaching an airfield that's a busy one. It brings the sim to its knees for a few seconds as it's loading everything in.
I guess the answer to that is to turn down the density of the aircraft on the ground and so on, is it?
Yeah, you tend to notice these big name content creators turn all of the, you know, the real Airbus pilots and guys like that, they turn all the traffic completely off.
Yeah, because that hits your CPU, doesn't it? And so that'll give you the problems.
Well, I don't think it's so much that, it's just, there's a bottleneck on storage when it loads them in. So, and because it's crappily written in the simulator code, it brings the actual simulation engine to a halt while it's loading it. But then they may not have ever guessed that you get this many people flying this many different aeroplanes all over the place in it.
When some men in dark coats arrive on your doorstep, Jonathan, run.
Wow, this is a big airstrip for a small island.
It is, isn't it?
If this was a Scottish island, they'd have a 400-metre gravel strip instead of this great big thing.
I don't know about gravel.
The beach will do.
I'm guessing the reason for that is there's a lot of tax exiles living out here.
all of these islands are very popular with people with large bank accounts for some reason.
I have a larger bank account, it's very empty.
Maybe they have a special scheme where instead of paying any tax, you put some money towards a massive runway.
Yeah.
Charge $100,000 for anybody to land there.
So that would be a taxi haven.
Oh dear.
I'm here all night.
Yeah, they get worse.
If you get a few thousand feet altitude, there's a lot of reefs around.
There is one of these islands going south.
Well, this one we're coming up to, Union, there's lots and lots of reefs around it.
Yeah. If you look over towards the left, there's even better one.
That's where Austin Island's at.
And they're showing up a coral under the water.
Yeah.
I just froze again.
I'm going to shut the window, get it warmer.
Not that kind of froze. A private little island, about 20 houses on it.
But they must be natives, there's no airport.
Oh, wet and great freshwater lake.
Okay, so at Union, we have to come in the other end of the runway by the look of it for the wind.
Yeah, definitely. I got 20 knots.
Yeah, it's getting windy.
So aim between those two flicks, I'm saying, maybe.
Someone sunk every boat in the harbour.
I can see other people going through that gap in the hills. Is that the right way to go?
The people in the houses on top of that hill are fed up.
It's amazing how accurately the windsock shows the wind. It really does give a very good indication.
Yeah, I usually do a flyover at an airport just to see what windsock is doing before I land.
Well, that wasn't a pretty touchdown. With rudder and ailerons and everything going.
Right, next leg, 220 degrees, which takes us to the next big island.
Ah, great. Now I have no throttle response. Looks like mixture time.
What do you find, Joe?
Yeah, it isn't Joe. It's Ponch, but the Coronado Seminole.
Or the PA-44?
Firm.
That's a lovely little aircraft.
Yeah, I've not flown that for a while.
Yeah, it flies very nice, but right now I'm operating what they call lean of peak wide open throttle. I'm regulating with mixture. Yep, and the prop and the mixture work fine, the throttle does not.
All of a sudden?
Yes.
Is that a fuel-injected engine? Do you know the engine type in that one?
Unknown at the moment.
I just flew over an old square rigger on the bottom of the ocean.
Aliens.
Just remember where it is, you can go treasure hunting.
Yeah, it was. as Jonathan said, it was under the water too.
Was it a real boat or was it a big inflatable?
No, it looked like a big mast all over it. It looked like an old square rigger left over from the pirate days.
Right.
It's probably one of the ones they charge tourists an arm and a leg to go and do a tour of an island in.
Oh, I've just flown over absolutely cracking house. Built on stilts into the side of a mountain. In fact, they're all pretty good looking houses around here.
I'm going to have to drop off. I've just been called out for work, which is annoying.
Shame.
Someone's got to keep the wheels of industry turning.
It's probably another... We've got this alert that we've had 50 times before and you told us to ignore, but we thought we'd call you out just to be sure. Anyway, I shall see you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Good night.
Cheers.
Yeah, see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What height are you flying at, Dave?
1,000 feet.
Yeah. I was trying to find you on radar, but you're nowhere near.
Slightly to the left of the flight plan. South of Lauriston.
Yeah. How accurate is your position on the little nav map?
You've just flown across the front of me.
Oh, I couldn't see you.
That's the same trouble as we were having Thursday, isn't it? Not seeing each other.
Yeah. Being joined by another hawk.
He's chasing you, giving you a run for your money.
I'm doing a sneaky tactic.
We'll have to do a flight in the future into St Bart's, won't we? Or St Martin.
So someone on the live stream's asking what I'm flying and says, is it a Scottish Bulldog? No, it's not. I've got the Piaget, I forget the code number for it. It was made by Focke-Wulf and then sub-licensed to, or the other way around. I can never remember if it was a Piaget aircraft first and then sub-licensed to Focke-Wulf.
That's
P149.
Yeah, it's a lovely little plane.
Ah, good evening, Parrick.
What's the cruise speed on that one, John?
It does about 130-ish, 140 if you push it.
Okay, I thought it was one of those speedy ones. Like.
No, it's a trainer really.
Did you watch the rugby, Linda?
No, I didn't. What was the result?
I'm on about yesterday. There was the women's and the men's, wasn't it? And then
No, I just didn't follow it, sorry.
Oh, right.
Well, didn't we sneak the game yesterday against Wales, but then Owen Farrell got himself sent off?
We got. I didn't realise he got sent off.
Yeah, involuntary headbutt.
Accidental headbutt.
On purpose.
Yeah, an on-purpose headbutt.
It was even all over our TV down here.
That's pretty normal for New Zealand rugby players, though, isn't it?
If you think rugby's bad, you want to come and watch a bit of that Australian Rugby League, mate. It's brutal. Elbows to the throat. All that sort of thing.
I thought that was Australian football.
Women's football.
The Aussie girls have gone right through to the semi-final. It's they're up against England. It's going to be a good game. I might watch that actually.
Last time they played, they beat them.
I think that was some time ago, though, wasn't it?
No, only a couple of months ago.
Oh, right.
You're in a caravan, Peter?
No, in Arrow. Arrow 3.
Okay.
Are we running into 09 at this one?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, it looks like it. Wind on the ground, 110 degrees, 10 knots.
Little nav map on the ground is saying 106 at 18 knots. So. Test your skills.
I'm getting buffeted about.
I just saw some spectacular lightning.
Was it like that lot we got out over Arizona, Peter?
Yeah, it was. It was almost horizontal down to the ground.
Yeah, I just saw a big flash on top of the hill.
I got real weather and I ain't seen nothing like that.
I know, I'm on real weather too. I mean, look, it's brilliant sunshine and some cloud, but it was just, I even had a thunderclap to go with it.
Yeah, I heard the thunderclap.
Perhaps it's all these aircraft causing the air disturbance, getting the friction up.
Well, it looks like I solved my problem. Experimented with the function keys for throttle, so I hit F4, F3, F2, and worked the throttle that way with the function keys, and then the quadrant came back.
I just had lightning and a thunderclap. And another one.
So we're all real-time and real weather.
Yep.
Perhaps it means there's an impending earthquake, or sorry, volcanic eruption that's going to happen.
Oh, the Emperor strikes again.
Yeah, but make this a very quick touch and go.
I'm getting a lot of buffet in again.
Well, it's windy. How you getting on with that new switch panel?
It's working perfectly. The hardest bit to set up was the key switch, because there's 6 settings. There's obviously off, then you got the right magneto, left magneto, both magnetos, and then the starter.
Yeah, I've just seen the lightning strike out at sea over the bay.
Yeah.
Maybe I need a new graphics card.
You're using that as an excuse, aren't you, Ellis?
Anything to do.
I've got live weather, I'm not seeing any lightning bolt.
Yeah, I've only seen the one.
You got your glasses on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a shame that our kids aren't little now, because then we could come and visit and they could pull the breakers out of your cockpit of your new panel and run off and hide with them.
Actually, you're on about the fuses and the...
Yeah, the breakers, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for little kids, pulling those breakers out, wouldn't it?
He gave full instructions. I'll tell you what, it's one of the best people I've ever dealt with. And he's only like a woman, he's really good quality.
I'm going to follow the coastline round to the final airport. Just lost my internet connection for a few seconds there. Very strange.
That'll be a thunderstorm.
Possibly.
It's very realistic.
That's where I leave the room and I've got a scorched t-shirt and hair stood up.
Oh yes, I've just seen one at long last.
As long as you got Wellingtons on it, wouldn't are you?
Better start unplugging the aerials. Oh, I've just heard a bit of thunder.
So, Joe, I was thinking the other day about finally investing in some sort of radio so I can listen into Heathrow traffic, seeing as we're only a few miles down the road.
Yes.
So I'll have to engage you in conversation at some point about what would be a good starter radio to get.
Oh well.
There are all manner of cheap airband radios, but if you want something professional, the name is ICOM.
Right.
Well, as I said, I was going to put one in the post here that I don't use, which is the best radio, VHF radio I've ever owned. And fun enough, it's an ICOM.
Ooh, just saw a real good flash of lightning then.
I think ICOM are good, but they're the most expensive way to do everything, and there are some cheaper Japanese. If you go to something like Flight Store website, you'll see a few.
Do you need good aerials though?
No, they all come with the standard stub aerials. The other thing you have to remember is if you buy an ICOM, it'll probably have a transmit, which means you'll need an RT license. You know,
but
so when he finds out you've got it.
You could have even more fun with that though, couldn't he?
Get locked up really quickly.
Yeah, he would get locked up really quickly.
I'm alright because I've got a license.
Well, for those of us with a bit of radio experience, it's all about the received quality of the audio. And that's what this little ICOM excels at.
I think there's a brand called Yaesu, Y-A-E-S-U, which is like a ICOM knockoff, but it does the same, but it's cheaper.
Yeah, I've been playing with Yaesus for over 40 years, and ICOM. So, if you're up for it, John, I'll just put it in the post here, and then you can borrow it for a while and have a listen.
Okay. I'll message you away from here to sort out what we'll do.
Yeah, Roger.
This is going to be another one of those rabbit holes that gets really expensive really quickly, isn't it?
All you want to do is listen to somebody talking, Jonathan.
One quick YouTube video, they'll be there.
Have you got a spare laptop?
I've got several.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll lend you this radio, and then you might choose to buy a dongle and put some software on an old laptop.
So does that work independently of the radio, or it plugs into it?
Basically, the dongle works as the radio side, and your laptop plays with the audio.
Okay. I was listening to a podcast the other day. Is it Jupiter Broadcasting that have the Linux podcasts?
I came round the coast and doing a right-hand downwind. Mr. Musfly just went past.
So apologies to anybody watching the live stream. We had another internet connection cut out for some reason, but it's recovered.
So Alice, have you rounded the 1,000 mark?
I don't know. I'd have to jump out of this flight to find out.
Fair enough.
But I would say so. Yeah.
That's been more than an hour.
Yeah, well, that's right. And I was 999, so when I started.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Alice.
So the round's on you then.
Yeah, I don't think the wife will say congratulations.
I think the wife will give you a paintbrush and say, here you are, if you've got all this time on your hands.
You're It's about it.
Hello, Jonathan sir. I have a facing problem. I cannot see all the airplanes on the little nav map.
If you go to VirtualFlight.Online and go to the transmitter section on there, in the codex, there's a codex link, and it goes through all the instructions of what you need to do.
I have already running the transmitter.
Yeah, you need to configure Little Nav Map to see everybody that's using transmitter.
It's settings within Little Nav Map in.
Yeah, the instructions of how to do it are in the codex on VirtualFlight.Online, the instructions.
Right, let's get a speed down about, what, 70 knots?
That'll do, Dave.
This is a huge airfield, isn't it?
Where I can find the codex?
Go to VirtualFlight.Online. One of the links at the very top of the page is the codex, and then once you're in there, if you scroll to the bottom, you'll find transmitter.
Ricky, there's a lot of planes already there.
Yeah, Jonathan's down. He's just in front of me. I'm just turning off now onto the taxiway.
I'm going to have to turn the labels up. Can't see the.
Yes, I have opened the page, and what I have to download?
You don't. As long as you've got Little Nav Map, all you have to do is go into the settings of Little Nav Map. It explains how to do it.
The little cog in the menu bar.
Right, well, thank you very much all for another lovely flight.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, really good flight.
Bit of lightning, sunshine, reefs, sunken ships. We got it all today.
Yeah, like English weather, 4 seasons in a day.
For those interested that haven't seen it, I threw up the link for the model matching application. It's on the events forum.
Brilliant.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It was my first full flight, and thoroughly enjoyed it. See you again, guys. Cheers.
Thank you. See you again soon.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry, I'm failed to find this cog.
In Little Nav Map, go to the Tools menu.
Yes,
and then
sorry, again in little nav map.
Go to the Tools menu.
Top bar.
Tools menu, then
Options.
Next.
Online flying on the left-hand side.
Yes, I've got it now.
Then you have to select the various options on that form that pops up, and that's what's in the instructions on the codex, because you have to put a very specific URL in and choose some options on those boxes.
Yes, I choose the custom. Then after that, the lower section.
You need to put in the URL in the WhatsApp file URL.
Which you can copy and paste out of the codec.
Yes. There is a empty space. WhatsApp file URL.
Yeah.
What is this URL?
It's a long URL. I'm not going to read it out. But you can find it on that website I told you about in the codecs, in the transmitter page. About halfway down is the instructions for this nav map.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Ellis, if you leave your landing light on, you're going to deaden your battery again.
Just turn them off. Thank you, Peter.
So I'm next door to you. I always do. That's what I saw when you said your battery was flat last time.
Tell me, Peter, when you go flying during the week, do you usually turn transmitter on?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. Are you flying?
Folks, next week we're back on the east coast of the U.S., going south down the North Carolina coast. So hopefully everybody can join.
On the same server. We're in Thailand tomorrow night, aren't we, Peter?
We are indeed.
But yeah, next week we're in the US. Yeah, so that'll be good.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow, those who are attending.
Cool.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.
Yep, see you soon. Right, I'm going to stop the live stream there.